Partway through our lessons on heroes and myths of ancient Greece, the class telephone rang with a message every student dreads. "Carlos and Benny," said Mr. Chu, hanging up the receiver. "Yes, Mr. Chu," we said. "Your number's up. Please report to the principal's office." Our classmates were sympathetic and understanding. Everyone went ooh with great glee. "Bastard," crowed Tyler. "I knew you were behind all the weird stuff." Bunny gawked at our teacher. "Us? Do you know any other Carloses and Bennys in this class?" said Mr. Chu. I glanced over my friend, but he was rooted in place, just as mystified as I was. "Now would be nice. Mrs. Johnson has many fine qualities, but patience isn't one of them." As eager as a prisoner approaching the hangman, we trudged down the covered corridor. Along the way we passed a man and woman clad in sky blue jumpsuits with the Hanzomon logo on the chest. Benny peered up at the guy. "Hello, boys," the man said. "We are here to help coach science fair projects." "Uh-huh," said Benny. I cocked my head up. "Wouldn't that be an unfair advantage?" The woman smiled. "Not if we are helping everybody." When we reached the office, Mrs. Gomez was sitting behind the counter, eating muffins and answering phones. Same as usual, like the spider at the center of a web. Secretaries read the vibes of the entire school, so if anyone knew what we were in for, it'd be Mrs. Gomez. Her smile or frown could tell us a lot. When she saw Benny and me, her face went as grim as an all-tail buffet. "So much for good news. Mrs. Johnson's not ready for you yet," she said. "Take the seat." We sat on the hard plastic chairs. Benny leaned over and whispered, "Now's our chance." "What chance?" I said. His eyes cut over to Mrs. Gomez, typing on the computer. "You distract her, I'll look up Esme's address." "Are you nuts?" I hissed. "We're already in trouble and you want to land us in more?" "That's the best time," he said, "when you're already in trouble." But we didn't get the chance to test Benny's theory. Just then a buzzer sounded behind the counter, and the secretary said, She'll see you now." We shuffled the few steps to Mrs. Johnson's office door, and I wondered why we were in for it this time. Was it because our seance put a teacher into a coma, or was it some other trouble we'd gotten into earlier? When you visit the principal's office as often as we do, who can keep track? Benny knocked. Then we heard "Come in." We entered the room. "Close the door," said Mrs. Johnson. I swallowed. This wasn't good. Closed doors meant bad news. "Would y'all please?" the principal began in her Texas twang. "I can't explain," Benny burst out. "See, we had no idea the thing was flammable." A frown line appeared between her eyebrows. "What are you talking about?" "Backpedaling," Benny said. It depends. What are you talking about?" "The fix our school has gotten itself into," said Mrs. Johnson after a pause. I tried to quiet my suddenly queasy stomach. "Oh," I said, "Dad." She gestured the visitor's chair, and Benny and I sat. I was confused as a goat on AstroTurf. Had our principal been talking to Tyler? Did she believe all that stuff about us causing the troubles? Or was something else on her mind? "I heard about yesterday's seance," said Mrs. Johnson, "and We are sorry about Miss Freshly, Benny blurted. It was an accident, I said. She held up a calming hand. I'm aware of that, and I don't hold you two responsible. You don't? Said Benny and I together. Relief flooded me. You may have been going at it like an armadillo trying to tap dance, but I believe you were trying to help the school, she said. Absolutely, said Benny, resting her elbow on the desk. The principal tended her long fingers. Mr. Decker told me all about it before he was struck down too. Say that again? My hand seemed to tingle like a bad taste of pins and needles. But he was fine when we saw him, Benny protested. Mrs. Johnson's lips compressed. Last night, yes, but he came in early this morning to try to solve this problem, and Mrs. Gomez found him raving down the halls. No, I crumpled like a cheap tissue. That what good was it trying to be a hero if you couldn't protect your friends? How is he? Benny asked. The principal shook her head. Just like the rest, this is getting to be a very bad trend. I checked Bunny's expression. He looked just as stunned as I felt. Standing up, Mrs. Johnson smoothed the front of a lime green pantsuit. It's a ticklish situation, to say the least. Parents are worried, and the superintendent is having a conniption fit. But if I bring the police, they'd never believe me. Well, yeah, I said, just for something to say. It's getting bad, she continued. There's even talk of shutting down the school. I gasped. The situation was serious. Mrs. Johnson's face clenched. Not my school. That's what Don Tooting promised to educate and protect my students. And that is what I will do. That's right, said Benny. The principal's eyes flashed. I've been an educator for 22 years. I faced wildfires, budget cuts, even standardized testing. And I will not let this, whatever it is, drive us out. Especially not now when our whole science program is being underwritten by Hanzomon International. Never give up, never surrender, cried Benny, caught up in the moment. My pulse was pounding too. I was ready to draw a line in the sand. But why are you telling this to us? I asked. She studied Benny and me for a bit. I know that some strange and mysterious things have gone on at Monte Rosa Elementary that last couple of months. Like what, hyenas and mutant mantises? Yeah, you could say that. Bad things have happened, she said, eyeing Benny. And I'm not just talking about exploding toilets. Benny struggled to keep a she-knows expression from his face and failed. Mrs. Johnson claps her hand. I believe that you two have done your part to protect the school, students and staff from these troubles. I offered a rigid grin and lifted a shoulder. We tried. So I would like to hire you. I blinked. Hire? Us? Said Bunny. Yes, said the principal. You may be fourth graders, but for some reason you seem to know things that no one else does. Tell that to Mr. True, Benny muttered. Mrs. Johnson continued as though she hadn't heard. I want you to get to the bottom of this situation and uncover the whatever it is that's putting folks into comas. She couldn't bring herself to say those. I traded looks with Benny. You've got to do it by the end of the science fair on Friday, or the superintendent will shut us down. Well, I said. The principal put a fist on her hip. And here are the conditions. Don't face this threat directly. But I began. When things get dangerous, you leave immediately and call me, said Mrs. Johnson. I don't want two more traumas on my conscience. I'm with you on that, I said. Bunny gave a thumbs up. Is that a yes? She asked. Before I could speak, Bunny laid his hand on my arm. If we do this, he asked her, what's in it for us? Mrs. Johnson's eyebrow lifted. Your school doesn't close, and no more classmates are attacked. There should be enough reward. How about a little help in the grades department? Bunny gave his most winning smile. No, said the principal. Cash, said Bunny. Absolutely not. The principal's arms folded and her face shut down like a ski slope in summertime. It's okay, I began, but Bunny cut me off. There must be something you can offer, he said. After all, we're sticking our necks out here. Her stare was as flinty as the West Texas oil. Bunny had gone too far. I started to speak again, and his fingers dug into my arm like talons. Ow, how's this? Said Mrs. Johnson. Two get out of detention free passes for each of you. Deal, said Bunny. She eyed us. Remember, just figure out what's causing this. I will take it from there. Bunny gave her two-finger salute. Aye, aye, Commander. I frowned. And what if we need to get into the mechanical room or the portables? Mrs. Johnson stepped over her desk, reached under the blotter, and produced a tea. She held it up. Is that what I think it is? Said Bunny reverently. The universal tea, she said, handing it over. Don't lose it, don't copy it, and bring it right back as soon as this is over, understood? Bunny and I both nodded. Any questions? The principal asked. Since we can't keep the tea, could we have three get-out detention passes? Said Bunny. She scowled. Don't press your luck.